Right, so 2020 is on its way out, finally. I'm really happy about that. But we did get some good masterpieces in this year. So, this is a list of the best games that released in 2020. Now, some of these games were technically released in 2020, but they were old games which released on PC this year. So, they are on the list. I don't have a console, so obviously I didn't play these games before. This is my first time playing these games, so that's why they are on the list. Now, as far as the consoles are concerned, again, I do not have the console, so any console exclusive titles that released this year, like suppose Ghost of Tsushima, then Spider-Man Miles Morales or Animal Crossing, they are not going to be on the list because I didn't get to play them because I don't have a console. Now, one of these games are actually a game that released in late 2019, but it was so broken and non-functional that I only got to play this in 2020. So even that game is on the list. Now, without any further ado, let's just get on with the list. So at number 10, I have Genshin Impact. Now, is it Genshin Impact? Is it Genshin Impact? Do I care? Not really. It's a fun game. It's a free-to-play Breath of the Wild style RPG. What's not to like? It's really nice. It looks nice. The art style is beautiful. The combat is possibly fine. It's kind of a grind fest, but then again, this is a free-to-play game. Now, the one downside to this is obviously the microtransactions. Like, even for a free-to-play game, it kind of gets a little bit greedy. So there's that. But I played it for free. I never put a dime in it, and I honestly feel like I should maybe down the line put some dimes in it because I really enjoyed it. And in case of free-to-play games, if I really enjoy them, then I spend at least some money to give to the developers to just show them that, I liked your game. But I did that for Dota 2 as well. Now, Dota 2 is completely free, but I did buy the battle passes, some skins as well, because I genuinely enjoyed the game. That is why that is it. But yes, this game was really good. It's not that high on the list because it's a free-to-play RPG with some questionable monetization practices, but it's a really good game. And of course, Paimon is great. I disagree with anyone who says otherwise. I really like Paimon. So yeah. Now at number 9, I have Horizon Zero Dawn. So as I said in the disclaimer before, I know this game is not 2020, like it's not a 2020 release, but the game did come out on PC in 2020 and that's the first time I played it. Now of course, I had my eyes on this game ever since I saw it at E3. I was blown away when I saw it at E3. Now granted, that was like 5-6 years ago, but yeah, I was blown away. Now, when I finally got to play the game though, it was absolutely broken on PC and for quite a while I couldn't actually play the game. Now, I am not considering how broken these games are because if I did that, then 5 of the games that are on this list wouldn't be on this list. So, yeah. So, that being said, this game was released on PC in 2020. It has excellent world building. The characters are great. Aloy was great. The game feels a little bit dated in terms of mechanics, but more often than not, it makes it up with its story. It more than makes it up with the story. So I really like it and I don't want to spoil much as I do intend to continue this series on my channel. At some point, it is coming, don't worry. So yeah, just stay tuned. This is obviously coming to my channel and this deserves its spot in the number 9 position. Now at number 8, I know I'm cheating a little bit, but it is Control. Now, as I said, I know I'm cheating a little bit. It did come out a year ago, but it released on Steam this year. The complete edition released on Steam this year. That's the one I have. And yeah, I know why people were saying this was the game of the year last year. This is brilliant. The only reason why Control is not higher up on this list is because, let's be fair, it did release last year. So that is the reason why I'm bumping it down a bit. But in terms of the actual game, I would say this is there in maybe the second or the third place on this list. If it had come out this year, then it would have been in that second or third place. But since this is last year, this just came out on Steam this year, and the 505 did do some questionable things with the complete edition. Let's not get into that. So yeah, this is on 8. But it's a brilliant game, and if you have not played this, I absolutely recommend it. Number 7, Ghost Runner. Now, I have had so much fun with this game, like so much fun. I'm like gleeful right now when I speak about this. I cannot quite describe how fun it is wanting to throw a mouse at your screen at 1 second and then feeling like an absolute badass the next. Like, I am not that good at video games, which anyone who is on my channel should know this by now. So yeah, but considering all that, I was still able to do really good in this game. So I love it. This game it requires you to have good timing, and the more you practice, the better you get at it. This is the kind of game you can keep playing forever. Like, there's always something to do. Like, you know what? You just feel like you had a perfect run. You didn't. Maybe you took 1 second too long. Go do it again. Maybe you will shave off that 1 second. Maybe you will get that high score in terms of time. Maybe you can compete with your friends in terms of that time. And I love that aspect of it. Like, when the demo came out and there were just 2 levels, I grinded that demo for hours trying to get that perfect timing. I put that video up on my channel. It might even be on the channel right now if I didn't private that video. But yeah, I had so much fun, like learning the patterns, learning how the enemies attack, when to hit, when to deflect, when to dodge, how to dodge. This game may not look that deep on surface, but this game is brilliant. Now at number 6 is Cyberpunk 2077. Now I hear the alarm bells blaring everywhere. My channel is probably under siege now, and the dislike button is probably broken. But trust me, this is no mistake. And trust me, I am not even considering the game in the state that it was released in. And I'm not considering the performance this game has on the consoles. I'm not considering any of that. And I'm still putting this game on 6th. So here are my problems / good things in this game. Now, let's start with the positive note. It is, hands down, the best looking game that I have ever seen. Ever. Like, I have said this in the benchmark, I wrote that in the caption that this is the new Crysis. This is actually the new Crysis, because Crysis wasn't just the game that broke your PC or like that just ate your PC for breakfast. It also looked fantastic for its time. And that is the same case with Cyberpunk 2077. And this is without ray tracing, because of course I can't use ray tracing, because if you didn't notice, I have a 1050 Ti. I cannot use ray tracing. But even with the rasterized graphics, this is out of this world. Like, I don't have many words for how fantastic this game looks. Just everything in this game is fantastic in terms of the visuals. And I am not playing on high. I'm not playing on ultra. I'm not even playing on medium. I'm playing on low. I'm playing at subpar resolutions. And this game still looks nice. So, hats off. But this game has issues. Now, story is really nice. And the characters, they are meaningful. And honestly, even some of the side content in the game, I was enjoying them. I was enjoying the story being told, the emotions in the story, the way things were being structured. I really, really like that. And I honestly cannot praise this game enough for that. In those terms, this game probably would have been my game of the year. But then why is it not? Because this game feels very unfinished. And I'm not talking about the bugs. I'm not talking about the performance. I'm talking about the actual game mechanics. Look at the AI. The AI in the game is almost non-existent. Like, even the enemy AI, like the enemy combatants, yes, they can like run at you and shoot you, but sometimes they don't even do that. And just let alone that, there is no concept of flanking. There is nothing in the game. You can really easily cheese even very high level enemies to kill them and get like good loot. I was going through the Night City randomly. I just came across this one area where there was this fight going on with the policeman and a gang. I basically cheesed my way and killed all the people, even though I had to take like 10 shots to kill one of the enemies. So it is not well balanced. It is not really good in those terms. And it feels really old. Even the RPG mechanics that exist in the game, they feel very dated, very old. And these systems feel like they have dumbed it down from Witcher 3, and that makes it almost feel like a Ubisoft game. And we have come to the point where saying that this is a Ubisoft game means it's a generic, boring game. And that's how the gameplay systems actually feel. The redeeming factors of this game is how well it looks, how well the characters are written, and how well the story flows. But the mechanics, the actual combat, everything else in this game is mediocre. So yeah, they need to work on that shit. And also the police is crap. Like, just stupid as hell. Irony just slapped itself in the face because at number 5 we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. See how I basically insulted Ubisoft saying that their games are generic and boring, but even that game beat Cyberpunk 2077. But to be fair, the numbers 6 through the 3rd, so like 3, 4, 5, 6, they were actually extremely close. I just made a judgment call in ordering them. They were extremely close in my books. But actually moving on to number 5. Now finally, an Assassin's Creed game in an Assassin's Creed franchise that is actually an Assassin's Creed game. Like, how long has it been? Like, basically since Unity, we have never quite gotten an Assassin's Creed game, a proper one at least. So yeah, this was already going to end up high on my list because yes, I am a little bit biased. Maybe Cyberpunk could have ended up higher than this, but of course this is an Assassin's Creed channel. Like 80% of my content is Assassin's Creed, so it should come as no surprise that I am saying that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is higher on the list. But then you would say, if this is like Assassin's Creed is the main game of the channel, then why is it not higher still? Well, I'll get to that. But first, again, the positives. Now, there was a lot of things, like many people were like, how the hell did Last of Us 2 win the best story and the best game of the year and all that? I don't care, I haven't played the game. But the one thing I would say, how the hell did this game not end up on that list? This game has one of the most brilliant stories I have ever seen in a video game. Like, yes, it's not emotionally impactful, it is not that, but it has philosophical aspects to it. It really sometimes makes you think about what you're doing in the world. More than that, there are 3 different stories being told across 3 different timelines. Actually, there are 4 different stories being told across 3 different timelines. They are all interconnected. They all interconnect and make sense against each other. How on earth is this not higher up on everyone's list? I don't get it. In a sense, this game is the polar opposite of Odyssey. Like, everything that Odyssey had done horribly, this game does great. So then again, why is it not higher on the list? Because it has its flaws. The RPG structure does not work for Assassin's Creed. I have said this time and time again, and I'm going to stick to my guns. The movement system is same as Odyssey and Origins, and since they tried to, have more of these Assassin's Creed feel, which I love, but since they wanted more of that, they focused more on these parkour puzzles and going around and using the parkour system, except the parkour system is truly awful, and so it's just right in front of you, and it's awful. So that is a huge oversight from their end. They should have done something with the parkour system, and just there's that. Now, the RPG system, the RPG game system has more problems. One of those being the combat system. Now, this game is geared more towards combat than in stealth. Like, it is almost nearly impossible to play this game in stealth. Like, sometimes, yes, you can pull off really good stealth sequences, but other than that, you need to go to combat. Let's be honest here. Now, the movement is like, this game is just fighting with you continuously if you're trying to play stealth. If you're trying to play stealth, you are continuously fighting the controls. It's better to go in guns blazing, so like axes blazing, I guess, in this case. So there's that. But enough with Valhalla. This deserves its spot in the 5th place, and now let's move on to the 4th. Now at number 4, I have Bullets Per Minute. It's an indie game, and it's number 4 on my list. Now I don't play many indie games, but I played this one, and I played the hell out of it. There's a reason why. Just for this particular game, I'm not going to say a word. Just watch this. See? See what I mean? Now, obviously I suck at this game, but then again, I suck at pretty much every game. So it's not really this game's fault. Now, in the recorded footage, you saw me using the rhythm assist, but actually when I first played this game, I played it without rhythm assist because my rhythm is actually good because I trained in classical music for 6 years. Yeah, it's a dark secret that I have. But anyway, so it combines everything I love. I love music, I love video games. And you have these moments when you are walking or maybe you're jogging and you are listening to music and you're moving with the beats of the music. Even your footsteps are synchronized with the beats of the music. It's like that, but for everything. So everything, every single gunshot, your dodge, your jump, every single thing is with the music with the beats of the music. I can't speak. I'm so excited about this game. And everything is synchronized to that beat of music. Oh my god, this game is so good. This is one of the most exciting concepts I've seen in a game in a long time. This is so good. This is so good. It made me so happy when I played this game. Like, I was having so much fun. I was sucking at it, yes, but I was having fun. And that is the most important thing about playing a game. You should have fun. And I had fun. And I'm sure you will too. So, if you can, then I don't think it's that expensive. Go buy Bullets Permanent, play it, and I assure you, you will not regret that. You will not regret this experience. So yeah, you have my thumbs up. Now moving on to the number 3 spot, and that is Watch Dogs Legion. Now, this is going to be very controversial. Now I put Cyberpunk 2077 on 6th and Watch Dogs Legion is on 3rd, and many would say this is a generic ass game. Why is it on number 3rd? Why is it on number 3? I agree, it's a very generic ass game, except for one thing, and that one thing is putting this game in the 3rd spot. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Now, how did it actually get to the 3rd spot? It's because of the play as anyone mechanic. Now, at first, when I first saw this game back in E3 2009, I was like, what the hell are these guys thinking? Why would you need to play as everyone? Just play as one guy. I could not be more wrong, and I'm happy that I was not wrong. Now, of course, this game is very repetitive. Like, within the first 10 hours, you pretty much know all the recruitment missions. Like, that is done. Like, those are all the recruitment missions there are. There are no variations in those. But where this game shines is the sheer depth of this system. Now, yes, you still cannot equip your custom weapons on any operator, which sucks. You cannot buy a car or like equip a car for a particular operator, which again sucks. I want my Hitman to have a silenced pistol and a car. How hard is that? Now, again, you know what? That's going into the review side of it. I don't want to go there. But the reason why I'm praising this is because honestly, even when I was playing the game, I did not notice it at first. But I'll just explain one scenario to you. So now there was this one time where I was just randomly going in the world. I had this mission, but the game was stuttering and lagging. I didn't really want to do a mission. I was just looking at London, seeing London, because God knows that is the only way I can actually go to London. Garib hu yaar, kya karu? So, anyway, I was just moving around and I saw this asshole Albion guard kind of harassing some civilians, and I was like, you know what, I'll do my good deed for the day. So I went ahead and choked the Albion guard out. And suddenly I got a call from this one operative saying that, yes, I'm very interested in joining DedSec. Thank you for helping me out. So I was like, what the fuck? How? I didn't do anything. I just took out an Albion guard. So turns out, one of the people who were being harassed, so like there were 3-4 people there. One of the people who was harassed was kind of a relative to the person that I had saved on my list. So now, since I saved their relative, they were like, yeah, these are really good people, so let me go join them. So the game was actively tracking that. And then I went into the bios of all my operatives, and it blew my mind about how much stuff this game is tracking. So not just who recruited the operator to DedSec, these are tracking their daily habits, where they are, where they go. I know it is sounding creepy, but let's be honest, that's what happens in our real world as well. And even if it doesn't happen now, it will happen in a few years, let's be honest there. Now, what they are going to do, like whom they are meeting, and they will always meet that person, if you're trying to recruit that other person, if they are enemies and you like do something bad for that enemy, they will try to join your team. If you do something good for their enemy, then it will show that they helped their enemy, they are kind of unhappy. So this system is really deep, and I'm not saying all games from now on need to have this system where you can recruit all the NPCs. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, done right, this system could be the future of how NPCs are treated in a game. Like, just the sheer amount of details that every single NPC has is outstanding. And to think that they achieved this by using an AI system, which is not perfect. I'm not saying all the voices, all the voiceovers, the accents, everything is perfect. No, it is not. It is not perfect. But underneath all that, there is a very precious, shiny gem here. And I feel that this could be something that, we are looking at it sideways like, yeah, it's a gimmick. It's a good one, but it's a gimmick. But maybe in the future, this could become something very normal. So look out, because this really impressed me. And I applaud the developers who came up with the idea and actually went ahead and implemented this, because on a technical level, this thing is a goddamn masterpiece. It is. So if you love it or hate it, you can hate the system, you can love the system. You have to admit that this thing technically is a huge achievement. To even get this thing running is a huge achievement. And I applaud the developers for at least trying something new. In a year where we never get anything new from the gaming industry, at least we got something. Now the two games remaining on this list are honestly not that innovative, not that revolutionary, all that. They are just the absolute pinnacle of their genres. They are the absolute best at what they do. And as I said, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so Watch Dogs Legion, Bullets Per Minute, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Cyberpunk 2077 were pretty close to each other on my list. These two games are far ahead. They are far ahead of anyone. So let's get on with it. So at number 2 we have Doom Eternal. And I love everything about it. The gameplay is tight, the animations are fantastic, the way the gameplay flows is fantastic, the platforming sections are a nice break and a really good kind of a break from the action, but also it's not overbearing, it doesn't overstay its welcome, it's brilliant all the way through. Our protagonist is literally too angry to die and he is killing demons for fun. This game is the absolute pinnacle of the FPS genre, in my opinion. Now this engine, this engine was built from the ground up to run at 60 FPS. This game manages to push so much detail to your screen, even when you're playing on lower graphic settings, and all that at 60 FPS. I cannot stress how big of an achievement that is in an industry where we constantly see games like Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed, like anything Ubisoft makes, or even the other games where 60 FPS is a luxury, not a target. This game has 60 FPS for a target. It's not luxury, it's a target. And they got to that target. And they got to that target so spectacularly. So yeah, and again, there is an elephant in the room, and that is the music. You know how COVID is going around in the world? So let's say it would have been a zombie apocalypse instead, and let's be honest, given how dumb human beings are right now, most of the people right now would be zombies. Now, all you need is a gun and the music from this game. Zombies would be running back. They will be running away from you, and you will be hunting them down. The music is that fucking epic. Like, just honestly. Now, I know Valhalla had really great music. Then Bullets Per Minute obviously has great music because the whole game is dependent on music. But my word, Doom Eternal's music is so fucking awesome. So yeah, Mick Gordon, love you, man, seriously. So moving on to the last game in this list, and that is, as I said, it's a pinnacle of its genre. But it is also revolutionary. It is very revolutionary. It changed how we look at games. And that game is FIFA 21. Yeah, no, it's not FIFA 21. I was just kidding. Of course, it's not FIFA 21. Why in the God's green earth would FIFA 21 be on number 1 on anyone's list? Unless that list is like the god awful games of 2020. But no, the first game on my list is Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I know I am again kind of cheating with this, but this game did come out on PC last year, like very late last year. It came out December last year, and it was completely broken. So I did not play the game. I just tried to play the game. I tried to go through the first sections of the game, but the performance was so bad. I was barely able to get through, and even when I did, it wasn't that good. So I just forgot about it, and I just fine, you know what, my money is wasted now. I bought this game, I can't play this game. Let's just hope at some point I can work on my PC. But then it somewhat got fixed in January, and I still remember this. I started playing this game, and I couldn't stop playing this game. And by the time I finished this game, I was so thankful to myself that I gave this game a chance. This game is honestly one of the best games that I have ever played. Like, yes, as many people are saying that, yeah, you know, they kind of went off the whole Red Dead Redemption 1 ending. I don't care about that. This was not a story like Assassin's Creed Valhalla where there's like so much stuff going on. It's super complicated. You need to figure out what's going on half the time. And, you know, it's nothing like that. The stakes are not high. It's not like some super evil alien or like the gods coming to Earth. Nothing like that. The story here is very grounded. It's very personal. It's Arthur Morgan's story. And in a way, it's also John Marston's story. And also Jack Marston's story. It's also Dutch van der Lind's story. It's everyone's story. Everyone in that gang who was there. It is all of their stories. And honestly, the way this was presented, I just wish that Ubisoft would see this and see that if they go down this route and make stories that are focused on the characters and not the world around it. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't have the best open world. Let's be honest. The open world, it's pretty, it's really nice, it's good to explore, all of that. It's not the best open world. But the open world there just exists to motivate the story. It just exists to complement Arthur Morgan's story. It's nothing more than that. And that is why this game shines. Because this is Arthur Morgan's story. And what a story it is. So I thoroughly enjoyed this game. And this game managed to get emotions out of me. And I cannot stress enough how difficult that is. Like, the writing needs to be fantastic to get emotions out of me. Like, nothing can get emotions out of me. Because I'm not that emotional of a person. But this did. When I finished the game, the ending was beautiful, yes. But I felt hollow after playing this game. So I just went back, started up immediately. Because I felt hollow after I finished the game. Almost felt like I was living with these characters. And I felt attached to these characters. I wanted to see the characters before anything happens. Like when they were all naive and moving around without a care in the world. I wanted to see these characters again. And I did get to see them. So, yeah, it's just that there are so many good characters in this. And honestly, just hats off to Rockstar. I know they are pretty much done with single player. I've said this before. The next Grand Theft Auto is probably going to be some multiplayer single player combo. But yes, this was a masterpiece. This is what any third-person action-adventure game should strive to be. This is what Assassin's Creed should strive to be. This is what Cyberpunk 2077 should have strived to be. This is how you tell a story. This is how you present a story. This is how you make an open world. Don't just make an open world for the sake of it. Make an open world that will complement everything around it. Hats off to Rockstar for that. And thank you, Rockstar, for giving me this experience. And thank you to me for giving me this experience, because I almost never played this game. But anyway, that's the end of my list. I know it's a half an hour long video. I know I rambled on from some areas, but that's how it is. But yeah, I would like to say, if you do enjoy the video, then press that like button. Let's get that subscriber count up as well. So do subscribe to my channel if you are new to it, and if you're just discovering this video for the first time. And well, I'll leave you guys in peace. So peace.